The air is motionless. Not even the fog swirls anymore, and it hangs like gauze, thick and heavy, muting every sound. The dim glow of the flashlight flickers in Nora's trembling hand. A single scream still echoes in the distance, stretching out, unnaturally long, until it abruptly cuts off, leaving only silence. The group's faces, pale, stunned. Breaths visible in the air despite it not being cold. No one speaks. Somewhere behind them, a wooden wind chime tinks slowly. Even though there's no breeze, the sound is too sharp, like bones tapping together. Nora. He was right there, right next to me. Grant. No one moves, don't split up, I'm serious. They look around. All the houses seem slightly off, like they've shifted a few inches in the fog. The porch lights that were lit minutes ago are now out. One door is slightly open that was definitely shut before. Kayla. What if it wasn't fog that took him? Suddenly, a loud creak behind them. They spin around. Camera pans slowly across the town square. And now there's a figure standing at the edge of the fog, still, faceless, too tall. Its head seems to brush the lowest hanging mist. It doesn't move, but it's watching. The flashlight flickers again. The fog seems to curl closer, whispering.
Part 1. The fog takes first. The group stands frozen on the broken pavement of Ashbrook's main street, flashlights quivering in their hands. The fog rolls around them like liquid smoke, so dense now it feels like wool soaked in ice water. They're staring at the space where Ben just was. One moment he was there, like wide-eyed, mouth forming a question, and then gone. No sound, no scream, no motion, just the fog. And now, only the echo of Ben's last words. Do you see that? Then nothing. A hollow metallic creak cuts through the hush, like a rusted swing swaying on an abandoned playground, then vanishes as quickly as it came. Grant's camera clicks and whirs. He lifts it to his eye, trying to record, but the screen flickers and buzzes. The lens refuses to focus, blurring everything into a static, smudged mess. The image warps. His own reflection in the lens briefly looks away from him. Grant, to himself. Why won't you work? She clutches her jacket tight, her breath fast, shallow. Kayla, we shouldn't have come here. I knew it. I knew it. Something's wrong. Something in my bones. I feel it like teeth. Like something watching. Nora, maybe he tripped, or he's messing with us. You know Ben. He's a prankster. It's probably just fog tricks. Optical illusion. But her voice is brittle. One more word and it might snap. He snatches Grant's backup flashlight. Travis. No. He wouldn't leave us like that. I'm going. In 5 minutes. He steps forward. The light disappears after 4 feet. The beam dies midair, as if the fog is eating it alive. Grant, quietly. Travis. Don't. The fog curls around them now, slow and deliberate. It clings to their legs like vines, tugs at sleeves. When Travis calls out, his voice hits a wall. Muffled, distorted, a breath. Then silence, a footstep, then another, then 3, but only one person moved. The fog doesn't just surround them, it listens. They try moving together. The group tightens, flashlights flaring like dying stars. Buildings appear, then vanish. A brick shop they just passed now stands to their left again. A postbox is upside down. A crosswalk leads nowhere. Nora sees a signpost where there wasn't one before. It reads, Briar Lane. Then she blinks and it reads, back again. Grant tries using GPS. The map is gone, only a blinking dot hovering in gray nothing. They almost turn back. Then Kayla gasps, stumbling to a stop. She points to the wet, cracked mud. Bare footprints, small, barely larger than a child's. They lead away from where Ben disappeared. Opposite, deeper into the town. One at the edge is oddly sunken, like the person who left it was suddenly pulled down, or sank. Nora crouches beside the prints, Nora, these aren't his. These are... She stops. Her eyes go wide. A child's laugh. Thin, hollow, carried on the fog like a feather on water. She whirls. The others are suddenly 10 feet away. The fog twisted the space between them like a funhouse mirror. Nora, did you hear that? Then, a sound right by her ear, a slow, wet breath, exhaled as if something stood right behind her, close enough to touch the base of her neck. Camera static, child's giggle, distorted, backwards. A bell tolls, deep and underwater sounding. Footsteps in the fog, going in circles. Part 2. Voices beneath the ash. Ashbrook's fog did not move like weather. It held its breath, thick, unmoving, sentient. Where Ben had vanished, only silence remained, thick enough to choke on. Kayla. He didn't scream. He didn't run, he just, a shallow inhale, stopped being here. Grant. My camera isn't... It's not focusing. I'm pointing right into it, but it won't record the fog. It's just static. A faint metallic creaking filtered through the mist. Like a swing set rocking in the wind, or a weather vane left to rust. There was no wind. Travis. Someone's out there. That glow. See it? Just past the post office. A dim orange shimmer pulsed faintly in the distance. It wasn't fire. It had no flame. But the fog recoiled from it, curling backward like it was afraid. They followed it, moving through streets that shouldn't exist, roads that weren't mapped, buildings that shifted with each step. The glow led them to a ruin. Nora, this wasn't here before. We walked this way. There was nothing here. A house, or what remained of one. The structure had been reduced to bones. Blackened beams jutted from the earth like broken ribs. The walls were collapsed. Its windows were melted slits. The ground was carpeted in a layer of soft, bone-colored ash. Not snow, not dust, ash. Kayla. It's cold, but it doesn't feel cold. Like the heat's been sucked out. Grant. Okay. Documenting. Unknown structure. Possibly a fire site. Grant. What the hell? It just flickered. Something moved in the viewfinder, but I didn't see anything. Did you see that? Nora, guys. Over here. There's something. Near what had once been a front porch, buried halfway in soot and wood. Nora uncovered a warped piece of metal. A sign, half melted and scorched. Nora. It says, Kinderstag. That's German, right, Kayla? It's like Children's Day, or maybe an orphanage. Grant. Why is that here? Nora. Why isn't it on any map? Kayla crouched. Her hand brushed aside a drift of ash, and something responded. A breath beneath the dirt. A whisper without a voice. Beneath her palm, the floorboards were scorched. Charcoal black. Imprinted into them were small handprints. Dozens, maybe hundreds. Tiny fingers pressed hard into the wood, all pointing the same direction. Grant. There, leading to... That, a hatch. Rusted and hidden within the floor. Iron hinges, bolted shut. Travis, help me. We're opening this. Kayla. The voices. They stopped. As the hatch groaned open, the air shifted. A breath. Warm. Rotten. From somewhere below. The stairwell yawned beneath them. Steep, dark, chiseled from soot and stone. The air smelled of burned cloth and forgotten cellars. A place the fire didn't destroy, because the fire never made it down here. Nora, we shouldn't go down there. This is history screaming at us. Ben wouldn't want us. Travis, you don't know what Ben would want. You don't know what this place is. None of us do. But I'm not walking away. Grant, this camera, it's not right. What it plays back isn't what I saw. Look, on the screen, flicker, static, then 5 people, standing where they stood now. Same formation, same room, same ruin. Kayla, that's us. How is that? Travis, no, that's not real. It can't be real. Nora, we need to leave. Now. Right now. A sudden soft click echoed from below. Then music. A lullaby. It leaked out of the open stairwell. Tinny. Warped. Dragged from a half-broken speaker somewhere in the dark. A child's voice. Sang something slow and off-key. The words were foreign. Ancient. The melody cracked and looped in places like a vinyl skipping. Kayla. It's a child. It's singing. It's singing from underneath. Travis Ben? Is that you? No answer, just the lullaby decaying as it played. The voice turned hollow. Then it wept, and the weeping became static. Grant, this town isn't haunted. It remembers. And then, exhale. Close, right beside the mic. Wet breath, as if something leaned in and smiled. The group froze. No one spoke, because something else had taken the last word. The fog outside thickened again. The orange glow that led them here pulsed once, then faded. They were alone, or they weren't. And beneath them, the lullaby replayed, just the last note, but reversed, stretched, and twisted. A name was whispered into the floor, but it wasn't any of theirs. Part 3, Descent into the Quiet Below. The hatch yawns open with a drawn-out creak, metal scraping against rust, air rushing up like a slow exhale from something that's waited too long in the dark. The group stands over it in silence, the ash crunching underfoot like brittle bone. The last strains of the warped lullaby still linger in the air, tangled in the fog above. Then, nothing. No more singing, no more whispers. Just the sound of breath and the long stare downward. Well, someone has to go first. Travis's voice breaks the stillness, flat, determined. He flicks on his flashlight, but the beam barely reaches the bottom. The dark doesn't reflect it. It absorbs it. The ladder is slick with soot and cold to the touch, but it holds. One by one, they descend. Boots scraping metal rungs. The further they go, the further light and sound seem to retreat. The hatch above becomes a shrinking square of gray. The moment Kayla's foot leaves the final rung, it slams shut behind them. They freeze. Wait. No sound follows. Not even the creak of settling hinges. Only the smell of scorched earth and the bitter scent of something old, sealed in. The tunnel curves unnaturally, a spiral, like a drain. The walls are tight, closer than they should be. Every breath echoes back. Not once, but twice. First, a beat too slow, then too fast. This wasn't built for people like us, Nora mutters. It's too low, too narrow. We shouldn't be able to go this far down. We didn't even walk that long above ground. The walls begin to change. Red bricks blackened by soot, warped by heat. Some of them buckle outward, as if something had tried to push its way through from the other side. Then, the hallway opens. Then we step into a low-ceilinged chamber. It's wide, silent, and suffocating. The air tastes like wet cinders. The ash is thicker here like snow that never melts. Rusted bed frames line the far wall. Dozens, bent, fused together. Children's beds. This was a dormitory, Grant whispers. A place to sleep, if you could. A plastic doll, melted into a puddle, stares eyeless from under a cot. Crayon marks crawl across the concrete, messages scrawled in colors now, faded to the same ashen hue. In the center of the room sits a circle of toys. Stuffed animals, wooden blocks, all arranged facing inward, like they were watching something in the middle. Did someone put these here, or did they move? Kayla crouches near the ash. Her hand hovers. She doesn't touch it, but she listens. Her eyes widen. There's something beneath this. She gestures. Everyone goes still. The group crouches, holding their breath. Soft voices, under the ash. Not words, rhythm, a chant, whispered in unison by voices too small to be anything but children. They back away slowly. Grant lifts the camera. A sharp whine bursts through the mic, then static. For a fraction of a second, the screen flashes. A pale shape moving across. The bed's slender, human-shaped, crawling, but when he swings the lens, nothing. Don't rewind it, Kayla says. We're not supposed to see it twice. Nora finds the name Wall next. It's hidden behind a curtain of soot. She wipes it clean with her sleeve. Dozens of names carved by small hands. Leela Jonah, Emery, Sonia Walter then. Others, their names struck through, not erased, attacked. Deep gouges through the stone. What kind of place was this? There's more, Kayla whispers. Some of the names, they're the same as the ones in the missing persons case files. I've seen them. A sudden grinding sound, metal scraping stone. Travis finds it. Another door, almost hidden behind debris. It's low, barely taller than a child. Bolted with thick iron braces, warped with age and fire. A child's black handprint is smeared across its center. Fingers too long, pressed too hard. Then Nora sees something buried near the door. A corner of something wooden. She digs with her fingers, brushing aside ash until it emerges. A mask, carved from old wood, smooth and blank. No mouth, just two narrow eye slits. Too narrow for comfort. It's warm, she whispers. It's still warm. Grant's camera flickers again. The LCD screen hums, stutters, then freezes on a still image. The four of them, standing outside the burned building. Except the photo is dated years ago, long before they ever came to Ashbrook. This can't be right. We weren't. This isn't possible. Kayla backs away from the camera. That's not a recording. That's a memory, but not ours. Something creaks behind the door. The handle shifts. We're leaving. Now, whatever's behind that. 3 slow knocks. Knuckle against. Wood from the inside. The group freezes. Even Travis doesn't move. Then, the sound begins. Faint, barely audible. A lullaby. The same one from the recording upstairs. Only now it plays without the warped hiss. It's clean, crisp. A child's voice, humming from beyond the door as they listen. The humming breaks. It becomes sobbing. Wet, hopeless sobbing. Then static. The iron bolts slide open, not by hand. They unlatch one by one. The door creaks and opens. Nothing but black beyond it. Not darkness, blackness. And something breathes low and wet just inches away, fade to black. Part 4, the room that waited. The metal door yawns open with a reluctant groan, revealing darkness beyond. Not the kind of darkness you can wave a flashlight through. The kind that waits. The group stands motionless, cold breath trembling, in the air. No one speaks. They step inside together. The moment they cross the threshold, the temperature drops. Not like walking into a freezer. It's something worse. The cold is still. Final. Dead. Inside the room, everything is untouched. While the rest of the building is a skeleton of charred ruin, this space is pristine. Dustless furniture sits in perfect place. Wooden shelves, faded curtains, a cracked glass mirror. Children's drawings cling to the walls, paper edges curled but unburned. Kayla's voice breaks the silence. Why wasn't this room destroyed? The drawings, they're wrong. Childlike in style, but deeply wrong. Stick figures with no faces. In every picture, the children are surrounded by tall, thin shapes. Figures with hollow eyes and limbs. Too long. Some have mouths drawn in red crayon, yawning wide across their heads. Grant scans with his camera. His voice is low, barely a whisper. It's like they were trying to show something, like they knew. Nora steps slowly toward the drawings. They weren't drawing monsters. She swallows. They were drawing what they saw. In the center of the room, There's a ring of tiny wooden chairs, arranged in a perfect circle. Each one is the size for a child. They're clean, polished. One of them rocks gently. No breeze, no movement. Travis walks to a tall metal cabinet bolted against the wall. He tugs the handle, locked. Without hesitation, he grabs a nearby stool and smashes. The door open. The clang of metal rings through the room. It echoes far too long, like the room swallowed it and sent it back. Inside the cabinet, dolls, old, cloth-bodied, hand-stitched. 15 in total, each seated neatly on a shelf. Each doll has a small tag attached to its arm, names written in faded ink. Nora reaches in, flipping through them. Alice, Margaret, Jonah. Her hand freezes. The next tag reads, Kayla. Kayla stares at it. No, that's not possible. The doll's stitched eyes seem to look at her. Its hair is frayed and dark. Its dress, red, just like the one Kayla wore as a child. Grant lowers the camera. You said you'd never been here before. I haven't, she whispers, but her voice is hollow, as if she's no longer sure. A sound, behind them. Not a footstep, a breath. Nora turns fast. No one there. But the air behind her is warmer, as if someone had been standing inches away. She backs up into Travis. There's something in here with us. The lights flicker, once, twice, then a long, slow pulse. The drawings on the walls shudder, or seem to. Lines blur, faces twist. For just a moment, one of the tall, faceless figures seems to turn. The whispers begin. Soft, childlike, rhythmic. Stay with us. Stay with us. Stay with us. Grant's camera jerks. Static bursts across the screen. He turns in a slow circle. In the background, shapes. Pale, thin, gone before they're fully seen. Kayla clutches the doll to her chest. I don't remember being here, but it remembers me. Travis steps forward, flashlight raised. Enough of this. We get out. We find Ben. We end. This, the flashlight sputters. Then, movement. Something brushes past them. Cold air, swift as wind. But not wind. Not quite. The whispering swells. Stay with us. Stay. Grant backs toward the door. Travis, we need to go. Now. Nora moves too quickly. Stumbles. Travis grabs her arm, then freezes. He turns, looks behind her. His face drains of color. He whispers one word. Kayla. But she's not behind him. She was right there, a second ago. Gone. The doll lies on the floor now, its stitched mouth torn open. Silence. Then, a scream. Not from far off. Close. But when the group spins, flashlights cutting across the room. No Kayla. No. And only one thing remains, on one of the tiny wooden chairs in the circle. A second doll. Its tag reads, Kayla, still warm. The lights cut out. Darkness swallows the room. Part 5. Echoes in the dust. The silence after the scream is thick, heavy like a breath held too long. Travis spins, flashlight beams slicing the sealed room. Nothing. No sign of Elias. Not a sound. Not a single displaced speck of dust where he once stood. Nora stands frozen, back pressed to the wall. Kayla, trembling, stares at the tiny circle of chairs. One is now knocked over. It wasn't before. Grant clicks through the playback on his camera. Static, again. Just static. The last frame. Elias reaching toward the dolls. Then nothing. Travis. We're not staying here. We find him. Now. Nora. Where? There's no door. He was just here. How does someone vanish in front of you? Kayla doesn't answer. She's staring at the children's drawings. Her eyes narrow. She steps closer. Kayla. These changed. The others approach. Where the drawings once showed faceless children and tall shadow figures, now the paper is damp, like it's been redrawn. New ink. New figures. One shows 4 people in a room. Their room. Right now. Grant, Travis, Nora, and Kayla. No Elias. Kayla. This wasn't here before. It couldn't have been. Travis swears under his breath. Grant's camera glitches again. A burst of feedback. Then something else. New tracks in the dust. Footprints. Small, bare, too many toes. Grant lowers the camera. Travis. Those weren't there before either. Nora. They're fresh. A narrow doorway yawns open across the far side of the room. No one saw it open, no hinges creaked, no sound. But it's there now. An old wooden arch, half-eaten by mold and time. Inside, a hallway. Longer than it should be, too narrow. The dust continues inward. Travis doesn't wait. He steps through. Grant follows, camera raised. Kayla lingers. The circle of chairs creaks behind her. One slowly rocks on its own. Nora grabs her hand. Together, they move forward. The hallway bends. First left, then again, then down. Each turn, tighter. Grant. This wasn't in the foundation. There's no way we're still under the same building. The walls sweat. Not with water, but with something darker. Sticky. Black. It pulses slightly, like breath behind plaster. The deeper they go, the colder it gets, but it's not normal cold. It's like something is remembering winter. A soft voice echoes ahead. A child's voice. It's singing, off-key, fragments of a lullaby in a language none of them know. Then it changes. Travis. Travis. Soft. Whispered. Grant. Kayla grabs Nora's arm. It's not just the voice, it's the way it echoes, and not ahead, behind, beside. Nora. That's Elias. Grant shakes his head. No, it's not. They keep moving. The walls begin to shift. The brick becomes wood, then crumbling tile. The floor angles slightly. Shadows grow longer, stretching the wrong way. Time feels loose. They pass a child's shoe, half melted, nailed to the wall. A few more feet, and the hallway stops. Dead end, a mirror. It's cracked, fogged. But the glass isn't right. It shimmers slightly, like it's underwater. They step closer, and they see, not themselves, children. The same children from the drawings. Blank faces, until they turn in. The reflection, the children slowly raise their heads. Eyes black as cinders. Their mouths move, but the mirror has no sound. Only a low hum, like a heartbeat in reverse. Then, a single hairline crack appears across the glass. Then another, and another, from the inside. A sudden tap. Sharp. A hand. Pale. Small. Presses against the inside of the mirror. Then, crack. The sound spiderwebs through the hallway. They all stumble back. Grant's camera shakes, catching static. Then, something moving fast across the edge of the frame. A second hand joins the first. Then a mouth. Open. Silent scream. The mirror begins to bow outward, like something is pushing through. Travis shouts, "Run!" But the hallway behind them, it's gone. Only the mirror, and the sound of something breathing from both sides of the glass. Fade to black. Part 6. The mirror. That remember she mirror in the hallway trembled. A thin crack formed from within, crawling outward like veins across ice. Nora stepped back. Now, Kayla. They're saying names. I hear them, don't you? She moved closer, lips barely moving, whispering names none of them recognized. The sound of her voice felt older than the words she spoke. Elias, Kayla. Stop. This isn't. The mirror imploded inward with a sick, wet sound. Where there should have been glass, there was only a pulsing void, thick and alive. Something behind it breathed. A slow, rhythmic heartbeat began, deep and steady. A pale, child-sized hand emerged. Its fingers ended in jagged black nails dragging along the floor, leaving gouges in the wood. A laugh echoed out. It sounded like a child, but twisted, cracked in places like something trying to remember how to sound human. Nora. What the hell? Is that? The hand slipped back into the dark. The hallway door slammed shut behind them. Mason. It just locked. It locked itself. He twisted the knob. Nothing. They were sealed in. Elias, keep filming. Don't stop. The camera light flickered. The hallway blinked with it. Wallpaper curled like old bark. Mold crept up the walls in quick, blooming veins. The wood beneath them buckled, as if trying to swallow them whole. The air stank of rot and something coppery, like blood dried into stone. Flicker, flicker, flicker. The hallway transformed. It looked older than it should, more forgotten. Wet, decaying. Kayla, we're not alone. Ahead, 6 tall figures stood still in the corridor. Thin, slightly blurred, like they weren't fully there. Their faces were smooth, wrong, blank, but still somehow staring. Elias. There, not moving. But something behind them was. A ripple in the dark, deeper than shadow. Like something had just shifted its weight, watching from beyond. Kayla. They're waiting. A long inhale filled the hall, deep and slow. It didn't come from any of them. The camera faltered, then darkness, total. Silence held. Then footsteps, quick, sharp, surrounding them. Dozens, too many. Then came the voice. Not behind them, not in front, inside. You've seen us now. We see you too. The camera buzzed back on for just a breath, just long enough to catch a frame. Kayla standing alone. Everyone else, gone. Her eyes pitch black and smiling. Some things don't stay buried. Not in Ashbrook. Not down here. The mirror is shattered. The hallway has twisted into something else. And the group is no longer alone. They saw something behind the glass. Not a reflection, but a memory that wasn't theirs. A darkness with shape, with breath. And it saw them. One of them is missing. The others are trapped. But the town has more to show, because beneath the burned bones of Ashbrook lies something older, deeper, waiting. A cellar, sealed by time. A root the town grew around, and then forgot, until now. In the next episode, the root cellar, they go further than they should. And what they'll find down there remembers them all by name. Click to continue, before the lights go out again.